Good evening, YouTube. This is going to be the slang section of things you can say when taking a shit. Now, obviously, I have every intention of making this fun, so let's get right to it. So, obviously, you know the basic ones: dropping a load, taking a dump, dropping a log, taking a shit, any of those similar terms. But let's get to the meat of some of the good stuff. So one of which I think is fairly popular is dropping the kids off at the pool. So obviously, when you think of a term like that, it's just important to think of a situation where you'd say that. What if you're already at the pool? What should you say if you really are dropping the kids off at the pool? But it's like, okay, someone says, okay, smart ass, I meant, what are you doing this afternoon? No, I'm really dropping the kids off at the pool. No, I'm serious. What are you doing this afternoon? That sort of thing. So the next one is to push a rope. This is something that I like that one. It just happens to be gross just enough to make you feel queasy. I really need to push a rope right now, if you want my humble opinion. After eating this donut, I'm gonna have to push a rope. Be creative. That's the whole thing. When you say it, when you're about to, if you have, with your accomplices and general staff of people you're around, don't just say, I have to poop. Don't just, even your kids. Supposing you have children or you're over the age of 40 or something, it hits close to home rather than just saying, oh, I've got to go potty or take a poop or something. Even a kid can appreciate, I've got to push a rope. That one just speaks numbers. Show some creativity. I definitely recommend it. Ooh. But another one is filling the bowl. Now, some of these are going to start getting pretty gross, but I definitely feel like when you say I'm going to fill the bowl, it means... Now, in a lot of ways, I think some of these could wind up being taken for the wrong route. This one a little bit more. Are you going to do anything in the next 10 minutes? Yeah, I'm going to go fill the bowl. Well, fill what bowl? That's the sensible and logical question. Oh, don't worry about it. Just fill in the bowl. You don't want to know the bowl. Just think long and hard about it. This one is supposed to be funny, with all this toilet humor. Launching torpedoes. So this one kind of feels more for the younger mindset. I can't see too many folks who are mature for their age saying, I'm going to go launch some torpedoes, but that one just feels kind of snarky. That's really my opinion on that, is it's a snarky one. Oh. So, but it's funny nonetheless. If you want to make someone lose their lunch, just say, yeah, I'm going to go launch some torpedoes. It works like a charm. Now, this is one I liked. This is one that I found to be pretty interesting, and that is, I'm going to go throw up backwards. So a lot of these, the effort that's actually put into some of them, for one thing, you got to support them just because, people took the effort to come up with them. But for another, it becomes like something funny to sit there and talk about something that normally most people hate doing. So throwing up backwards almost makes you want to take a shit. Like, oh, I'm going to go throw up backwards. Yeah, I want to do that too. I know most people hate throwing up too, but you get the idea. Now this one is for all the women out there. All the women who are pregnant, and the idea of a baby crowning is, you know, one of the hardest parts of the pregnancy when it finally happens. Getting that baby out, well, this one's for the females, the motherly women. So a term for taking a shit is called crowning. I'm going to go crown, you know. Now, the term, when I looked it up, it didn't say to crown. It just said crowning. So it's a little bit difficult trying to figure out how to come up with a term. You could say, well, what were you doing? And then you say, I was crowning. And it's like, what the hell? You're not a woman. Go stand by the bathroom. You'll see what I mean. So, just a few of these. But then, here's another one that's just kind of a wise guy thing to say, is feeding the toilet. So, that one was a pretty wise one. You know, obviously you treat it as if it's like a dog or something. There's one last thing I have to do today before I go to sleep. And then you say, well, what is that? I gotta go feed the toilet. Very funny, right? Alright. So these are my magical terms for having to take a load. Drop a deuce. So, sayonara, and keep the faith.